You are listening to Rouge Radio, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It's time to get the point as Rouge Radio is ready to kick off.
Ready!
The best football talk with the best in the business.
So what is the cost? You have 2 first-round picks this year because the Argos were dumb enough to trade for Drew Willie.
A few rookies.
We go directly to the on-field product. We welcome to the show the 20th overall pick in this past Sunday's CFL draft, DeAndre Wright of the Alouettes. DeAndre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
And the occasional Hall of Famer.
Please welcome Doug Brown, who is one of the members of the current class of 2016 in the CFL Hall of Fame. Doug, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on the program.
Rouge Radio is on the air. Here's your hosts, Robert Dalton and Tony Allen.
Of the Rouge Radio podcast. This is episode 558, powered by the Canadian Football Podcast Network. My name is Robert Dalton. Joining me, as always, Mr. Tony Allen, live for the first time, might be this year, from his house. Let's do some house cleaning here. The podcast, the Rouge Radio podcast, is sponsored by the good people over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter the promo code Rouge. That tells them that the guys from Rouge sent you, and you get 20% off your order, plus for free worldwide shipping. Go to Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. So we're in a celebratory fashion right now that Tony is, he's not in cosplay. He's not playing with anything that, at least not that I know of. But he is happy being at home. I was
very happy to be at home. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been so. It's good to be home. Glad to be doing the show from here. All of that stuff. But I don't want to start the show off on a horrible note. But I just want to say on this podcast, I'm doing this show with a heavy heart, as earlier this week, my daughter and son were on a school trip where they went swimming at a local lake, and one of my daughter's classmates drowned. So it's devastated the community, and my heart goes out to the family, the teachers that were supervising, and my daughter, who's been, I think my youngest is a little too young to understand what happened, but my daughter is having a very difficult time with it. So just dedicate this show to that, just in honor of that young boy and his family, and just absolutely tragic. And I mean, the community stepped up. It's devastated, but it stepped up today. A local bakery had a fundraiser for the family. All of their donuts were for sale, and 100% of those donut sales went to the family, and they sold out in hours. Everybody in the community in Medicine Hat went to McBride's Bakery. I'll give them a free plug for what they did. And they sold every single donut, which means people even bought crappy donuts, the worst donuts there was, to help support people. So that was amazing. $11,000, and then whatever they additionally did online. So I want to give my tip of my hat to McBride's, tip of the hat to my community, and just a big hug to everyone in this community that's learning to deal with it. The classmates of this young boy, his family, and just devastating.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much that we can say in that regard, but I just hope that the community and the family grows from this as much as they can, if that's possible.
Maybe having said that, we can go on, enjoy the show. I'll try and bring the theme back up here to something a little jollier, and outside of that, I'll bring it back. I'm very happy, though, to be home and, seeing my family again before I take off the road for BC. My trip got delayed, so I know we were teasing up that I was going to be in Sparwood, BC this week, but instead, Medicine Hat, but I'm glad I'm here.
And on that note, I think now would be a good time to play the cheering sound that you're back home.
Yep.
I think I was going to play that, and then you brought it to, then you mentioned that, and I was like, no, that's not a good time to.
Yeah, but I want to bring it back up so we can enjoy the show. I'm not trying to put a cloud over it, but just for the people of Medicine Hat, I'm doing it for them today, especially teachers and the community, classmates, and like I said, I know my daughter's struggling, and I'm sure there's other kids that are struggling or just don't even understand how to express themselves. So
It's
make
hard
sure
to
you talk to your
comprehend at that age. Or I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're still in school, it's still hard to comprehend stuff like that.
Mhm.
Uh,
All right. So I don't want to go back down that road. We've moved on.
all right,
We're having a
we've
good
got.
show today.
Hey, we had a very monumental week in the CFL this past week. We're four. I think. What was the record? Like quarterback numbers that we have not seen since 1991, where we had a bunch of quarterbacks throw for 400 yards plus. I know it's early, but can we
moving the goalposts have worked.
can
Shortening
we
the field has worked. You can't argue it anymore.
can we cheer on for Stuart Johnson?
Let's do it. Yeah, congratulations. Every quarterback's a success now. The goalposts have been moved. The field is shorter. The Rouge, like no, that's not happening yet. My bad. But once we do move them, then we're gonna have quarterbacks with 600 yards every game. So maybe even 7. So triple digit scores. It's gonna be ridiculous.
113-7. Can't wait to
Yeah.
see that blow up.
We're gonna have basketball scores here now. Because that's what CFL fans have wanted, more scoring. We've been suffering through 31-38 games and 55-37 games. We've been just snooze fests. So
Now, I know that's a little bit tongue in cheek, and I somewhat agree, but we've been on the recipients of some pretty entertaining games. Like
yeah.
I mean, outside of that one Edmonton versus Ottawa game in the monsoon, it's been really good football.
I'll tell you, I was glued to my TV for that Saskatchewan BC. Who was it? Saskatchewan BC game. Not because I didn't want Saskatchewan to win, but I would have had a perfect week if BC had won because I called the Hamilton win over Winnipeg. So I'm like, oh, this is it, road to perfect week. But
I can't wait because week 3 brings us the first 4-game week. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the only team to be on a bye. Before we get to preview week 3, we're going to bring back a popular segment. And with we've got this week's blind rankings. And off the air, Tony, you said that this was going to be something that I was going to have some difficulty with. So
your blind reaction to the blind rankings is probably going to be very good. But
all right,
I decided, and I'll tell you what the category is because you can't know it. I've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. And you'll never be able to see what's coming next because this was so immensely popular. These are going to be 8 hashtag CFL TV shows.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm feeling nostalgic for the old days of when Twitter was about having fun and trending hashtags.
12 years ago, we were trending number 1, I think number 2 on Twitter.
We did number 1 nationally for a little bit anyways, at least 1 hour.
Okay. All right. And you can tell.
So here we go.
All right.
I know there's a couple shows that probably sprang into your head immediately. And I'm not going to lie, I don't remember which ones I tweeted out.
Oh, I can tell. I already know which ones were my suggestions because we, like you, me, and Dave, we had like a group message and we were talking about like all this stuff and all this. We had to like 20 to 30 ideas before we even decided to launch. So like I can tell which one.
We were just giggly schoolgirls when players started tweeting it, and then
the league got behind
started tweeting it.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. So I just went on and did a general search of hashtag CFL TV shows. You can still do it if you have your X account. They'll all pop up. And gosh, I was making myself laugh just reading them again. So here we go. And I'm just going to go in the order I wrote them down because I have no idea which one you would like. And what was the first one that popped into your head?
Say yes to the Dressler.
All right. Well, we'll put that as your first one. So that way, if you pick it as number 1, then you have to sacrifice something else. So where would you put say yes to the Dressler?
That was the first
'Cause
one
if
that
you're
popped in my
thinking of
head.
it, yeah, and I want to get that out of the way because if you're thinking about it, then it's going to skew the whole list. So we might as well do that one right now.
Because I think, at least as far as reality shows, I think this show still holds. I think it might still be on. I don't know. I don't follow TLC shows, so I'm gonna put it at number 3.
Okay, and I'm not gonna. I don't know the numbers, but I would have to say that was probably the most popular or most used by people thinking they were thinking it up for the first time. But
Oh yeah.
all right, so say yes to the Dresslers off the table. I'm just going to go to the top of the list. First one I found, Lois and Dan Clark.
Okay.
I know that's what I did too.
One just popped in my head, but I'll see if you actually have it on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? So we've got 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
And 3's already gone to say yes to the Dressler.
yeah, so that one was an easy one. Still funny. I'm gonna put that number 6.
All right, that gets number 6. Next on my list, Chevron Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay. Anytime you can bring up Chuck Norris show, awesome. I'm gonna put that number 4.
Number 4. Moving on to this one, like I'm already laughing. Cal Murphy Brown.
I don't remember this one, but just the visual.
Murphy Brown.
I'm gonna put it number 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
This one is probably the other one you were thinking of. Everyone loves Keon Raymond.
Okay. So we've got 3, 4. I'm gonna put that number 5.
2, 3, and 4 are already gone on your list. So
Yeah, I'm gonna put number 5.
all right, this gets number 5.
Okay.
So our last 3 either gonna be 1, 7, or 8.
Okay.
We've got Bo Meets World. Levi Mitchell. Bo Meets World.
That might be one of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that and I probably
That's
got
number
it,
one for sure.
a little bit nostalgic around that time, but I'll go number 8.
Okay, that's dead last. At number 8. So we're down to our last 2. This is going to be 7. I don't know if I should tell you the numbers, but you'd know them anyways. You can do math. This one, Burris and Butthead.
Okay. If there's a TV show Henry Burris could turn around, it's Beavis and Butthead. I'm gonna know number 7.
All right.
I think it deserves a little bit higher ranking, but
yeah. Now, me personally, I don't think this is number 1, but this is your number 1. It is Mess 'em in the Middle.
Ah, okay, yeah. All right.
I'm glad I did. So your number 1, Mess 'em in the Middle, Cal Murphy Brown. Say yes to the Dressler. Chevron Walker, Texas Ranger. Everyone loves Keon Raymond. Lois and Dan Clark, and then Bo Meets World.
Okay. The one
and
where
honestly,
I thought was...
You could have done 40 of them. It's just ridiculous.
The one that popped in my head, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I was going to use that one, but
Zach Hilarison, I think at the time it was Cody Husband, but we could actually put Cody Fajardo now.
It would, yeah. We should update that. If hashtags were still fun trending things, then it would definitely be worth a 2026 edition. But
we got to bring that back.
Yeah,
just to have some fun.
What a great! I love and you and I bring this up periodically, anyways. But to be able to work it into the blind rankings was just it was a fun way to remember some of our favorites. And I honestly don't even remember what any of mine were. And I know they were brilliant because it's me and I was on top of my game at Twitter. But although there was another one there, an honorable mention to Judge Flutie.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Honorable mention there.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to remember. Like all of a sudden now I've just got like a blank space in my head right now. It was a lot easier remembering it when we're coming up because all these thoughts came into my head, and then the first one was say yes to the Dressler.
Yeah. You'll be doom scrolling hashtags.
Well, now I will be
shows after this. You're up to 2:00 in the morning, doom scrolling that hashtag just to remember your favorites?
Well, I mean, pretty much during the editing of this program, it's essentially is I just let my laptop sit and do the editing, finish collaboration or whatever, and I'm just going to be going on X, searching up CFL TV shows. Well, didn't we also do CFL movies at one point?
I think we tried that. I don't know how successful it was. We did CFL food.
Oh God, yeah, I remember CFL food.
I don't know if that one went very well.
Well, there's only so much you can
Yeah.
do.
TV shows was a home
Yeah.
run. We got greedy. We flew too close to the sun with our waxed wings, and
We stared at the proverbial cleavage. Is
yeah.
essentially what we did. All right, let's go to week number 3 in the CFL. We have a triple header, everybody's favorite triple header on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And
that none of us can watch. Is this one of the ones we can't watch?
Well,
because
no,
it's on the zone.
So that'll be next year.
Oh, next year. Okay,
next year, one of these games. Well, it's only Saturday night games that will be on the zone. So it's one game a week, which I still think is a pretty decent value for the CFL. But regardless, we are partnered with the good people over at Sports Interaction. Go to SIA.com/Rouge. Your first deposit will be matched up to 100%. And of course, as always, we plead to please play and gamble responsibly. So tomorrow, we are recording this on it's going to be Friday. We are recording this on Wednesday, June 17th. On June 19th at 6:30 Central Standard Time, or at least from what I can see here, the Hamilton Tiger Cats host the BC Lions. Once again, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to be without Wynton McManus. They're also going to be without Jamal Peters after an unfortunate incident last week. Side note, Jamal Peters seems to be in good spirits and looks like to be on the road to recovery after that horrific incident last week against Winnipeg. The BC Lions will be without a few receivers, including Seven McGee. The return game is going to be in doubt as it wasn't that great to begin with. The Hamilton Tiger Cats the BC Lions are favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is set at 58.5, and holy cow, I still think that the over is going to be a good bet on this one. Tony, where you got this one going?
I am staying on the Ticats bandwagon. I know they lost game 1, but it's overtime loss. They still look strong against what I think we have collectively between the two of us picked as the strongest of the Eastern Division teams. They played respectable. They came in. They got their business done against Winnipeg as well, which I believe was on the road on top of it. And I don't know if we'll call it a convincing win, but they got it done. And I think last week I was going on, maybe it was either with you or my buddy who I watched the game with. I was saying, Bo Levi Mitchell to Lawler has been a great combination for the Tiger Cats. Turns out that was not a combination. It's apparently Keandra Smith and Bo Levi Mitchell right now. Not massive touchdowns. I'm not, it wasn't, 100-yard bomb each time, but, Bo's found a target there that's working for him. And I think, historically, Bo does that. He finds receivers, makes connections with them, players you might not have originally thought. But when Bo finds one he likes, he goes to them and they have success. BC did look good last week as well. They managed to storm back. They got behind the Riders pretty early. They tried to fight back. Riders fought and won it. So I think, BC can have that in-game Jekyll and Hyde thing going for them as well. And I don't know. There's something about this Tiger Cats team that's popping out at me already. I don't know if I'm alone in seeing it or if you'll touch on that as well, but I'm not saying this is a special Tigers. There's nothing special about this Tigers Cats team, but what they're playing right now in the football, I'm kind of buying right now. So give me the Tiger Cats 26-17 over the BC Lions.
Yeah, I'm with you to a certain extent. I think offensively, Hamilton is looking like all world right now. Like, week 1 they had a down. I mean, it's really tough to say. It's really too early at this point. Like 1 week, there's no running game at all, and it got to the point where they didn't even try. And then the next week, it was like 7, 8 yards per carry, right? So we don't know if it's hey, if you go with it, it's going to work, or they just took advantage of a Winnipeg defense that just can't stop the run all of a sudden. So, I mean, it's relatively early. Now, some things last week, I kind of really got to pat myself on the back because it turned out to be that I was right. I had some huge issues with that BC secondary. And if that front seven, which I think is second to none in the CFL at this point, if they don't get pressure, that secondary is going to get exposed, and exposed it got by Trevor Harris. Um, I can't imagine that Hamilton is going to give them the same, like their offensive line is going to give BC the same issues that Saskatchewan's offense was able to, but I still expect Bo Levi to throw up, toss up 400 plus yards, a couple of touchdowns. You might not even need um, that a running game. The main difference is that Saskatchewan has a running game. They are able to use the play action a little bit more. Hamilton, they they went away from it, but they still were successful through the air last week. Uh, I want to go Hamilton with you on this one. I think we're going to hit the over on this one. I really do. But there's just something in my gut that says BC ekes out this one, and I don't know why. Honestly, like everything that you said makes sense that Hamilton should win this one. But I'm going to go with BC. Maybe it's just my gut. Maybe it's whatever I just ate is not sitting well with me, and that's what's getting me to a little bit awry. Or maybe I just want to be different, but I've got BC winning this one 39-35 over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The first of the triple header is in Ottawa. The Toronto Argonauts looked pretty decent, but they are also favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is at 54.5. I'm not too sure that over-under is going to matter at this point. I think we're going to see a defensive affair, at least from Ottawa. I mean, who knows Chad Kelly more than Ryan Dinwiddie? Yeah, he was coaching him up, calling the plays for him. He knows his uh, his tendencies. I'm sure he's speaking to his defense. I said last week that if Ottawa's offense could figure it out, Ottawa's defense could be fun to watch. I think we're going to see this proof positive. I think Toronto does eke out a win, but I think it also depends too much on Jake Maier. If Jake Maier completes the game, it really says that Dinwiddie's confidence in Drew Brown is at an all-time low, and then we can continue having that quarterback controversy talk that we did last week. Toronto wins this 120-18 over the Ottawa Redblacks. Tony.
Well, in a very unscientific method, but so far has been successful. The first 2 weeks of the football season, the team that has a very high scoring but unfortunate end against the Montreal Alouettes have gone on to win, which is one team, the Tiger Cats. But it was my formula for picking the Tiger Cats against the Bombers. And I feel a little more comfortable in this one going up against an Ottawa Redblacks team that really looked like it just got absolutely dominated by the Elks in week 1. I mean, that score even flattered at Ottawa. I don't know if I can take a quick look see what it was, but I know it didn't feel like it was a
Edmonton should have been up more by that point. Yeah,
29-21 feels like that flatters Ottawa. Maybe I stopped watching the game when it picked up, but I don't know. Again, if you can be successful against the Montreal Alouettes, finding the end zone or the score sheet, you're going to be successful against the Ottawa Redblacks, I think. Mm-hmm. So I am not as generous as to the Ottawa's defense as you are, and I gave a beefy 31-10 win to the Argonauts in week 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that the amount of moves that Ottawa made, it needs them to gel, but it's a little bit easier for defense because it's just the schemes. It's either the implicacies or whatever the word is. It's either rush the quarterback, contain, geared towards stopping a run or whatnot. So it's really not that complicated as opposed to on the offensive side. So that is why I think this is going to be a little bit closer, closer game. But I digress. We are still on the opposite sides there, or at least on this side, we still pick Toronto to beat the Red Blacks. The Montreal Alouettes are in Edmonton in the middle half of that triple header. Montreal is favored by only 3.5, and the over/under is at 52.5. Colton Woodmansey is placed on the sixth game, which is just a backbreaker for a team that looks strong in week one after gaining so much free agency acquisitions and getting so much production from them. I still imagine Cody and Austin Mack are still pissed off from being cast aside out of Montreal. I think this is going to be your first quote unquote upset of the year. And I say that quote unquote because it's, each team is going to be playing their second game, or I guess Montreal's playing their third game, but it is going to be, it's still relatively early. We don't know the identity of certain teams, but I will call this relatively upset. One team missed the playoffs. One team was a play away from going into overtime last year in the Grey Cup. But with that being said, I think Justin Rankin is just that special of a player that can take over a game at home. Edmonton, they've got the momentum on their side, and I know that Montreal is going to make me look goofy, but I would say take Edmonton to cover the spread. And I'll also say that if Edmonton's offense gets going early, you could give me the over because I don't like Edmonton's defense against Montreal. I'm just a huge Justin Rankin fan, enough to actually give him the win over Montreal. Final score 35-30 over the Montreal Alouettes. Tony.
Well, I'm pretty darn close. There's not much I had anything other to say other than Montreal's played with fire 2 weeks in a row and have almost got burnt. Their defense, maybe because I'm saying this, they're now going to have their breakthrough game in 2026, but obviously they're not the best defense in the league, but winning cures all, and you're not going to notice the 20 plus points Montreal's defense has been giving up through the first 2 weeks of the season. And again, everyone right now, if you're smart, if you love football, everyone's in love with Justin Rankin right now. Like this, This guy should be the talk of the kid. This guy should be the face of the CFL for 2026.
Yep.
And I think you've got a reason to be hyped in Edmonton if you have this guy. So the numbers might say an upset. Last year's Alouettes versus last year's Elks might make you think Montreal has this in the bag, but I'm not sure. At home, I think this is Montreal's time to fall. And honestly, Davis Alexander's adorable regular season undefeated streak has to come to an end soon. It just has to. And that's not because he sucks. That's not because I don't believe it's
the law of averages indicate that that's not going to be sustained. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's not going to go his entire 15-year career without losing a regular season game. And I mean, it's going to, and no, I'm not going to pick the opposition to beat Montreal every week so I can say, I told you so. But we know it's going to end unless Montreal is an 18-0 season, which they're not going to have, or if Alexander's not part of them. But I mean, I'm taking Edmonton 30-27 to win this one.
All right, we're on the same page there. That's nice. Last game of the day and of course of the week is the Calgary Stampeders, fresh off the bye, are hosting the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the last half or the last third of the triple header. Saskatchewan's favored by 1.5. The over/under is set at 50.5. Tony, are you on the Saskatchewan Roughrider bandwagon?
I am on the Saskatchewan is better than the Calgary Stampeders bandwagon. I don't know. I don't want to call it a bandwagon because it still sounds like I'm all in. I'm in the Roughriders are better than the Stampeders factuality library of facts that they just are. And I don't know if I will warm up to the Stampeders at some point again. I think they're going to be as competitive as the West is going to be after BC and Saskatchewan. But I mean, without fancy analysis, I think it's just I have the under on that one. Maybe Saskatchewan's primed to light them up. But 28-17, I have the Rough Riders taking this one at McMahon Stadium.
I would be with you on that one. I haven't read the depth charts yet. Don't know if Hutchins is going to be back. Don't know if or Malott is going to be back. I think it's really too early to really heavily dissect that, right? Because we're just probably 24, 48 hours away from those depth charts being released. Having said that, I don't see any major injuries coming out of Saskatchewan. That really changes my mind or their opinion about that. But one thing that we saw last year is that on paper, Saskatchewan was a better team than Calgary, and yet Calgary still handled them with relatively ease. And I think as much as I want to say to be the man, you got to beat the man, right? Until they're beaten, you got to pick the defending Grey Cup champions. But until Saskatchewan beats Calgary in this current rendition of this rivalry, I have to go with the home team in this case. There's again, this is relatively to my BC Hamilton prediction. This isn't anything that I'm like looking at it with a scientific formula. This is just a gut feeling right now that maybe I need to sit on the toilet a little bit just to maybe get rid of that. But I sense a Calgary Stampeder win. And I am going to take the under. I think this is going to be a heavily defensive battle. I think Vernon Adams is going to he's going to have a bad Vernon Adams type game, but he's also going to throw out a couple of touchdowns, enough to get the Calgary Stampeders to win. Final score 28-24. Actually, that would put them in the over. So I'm going to let's do that. 23-20. Yeah, there we go. Over the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh, I already did mine.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at you. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, I was sitting like,
before we get to our final thoughts, obviously the CFPN is they're doing their weekly, or I guess yearly, but each week is a fantasy football league. Last week, I came this close from defeating Clay Bauming of the Argos Fancast. Defeated me by 4 points. A little bit of a controversy because apparently Genius Sports still has the Montreal defense. I think there was a lack of score, but I mean the lack of proper calculations there. But I don't know if that's in my favor. Either way, I lose. Next week, I am facing up against Sheldon Jones of the 2 and Out podcast. Looking forward to that as well. Tony, any final thoughts?
Yes, I'm going to use this, not CFL Note, but CFL Connected. I would like to welcome, I suppose, Hamilton is now one of the top sports cities in Canada. Welcome to Hamilton's new PWHL franchise. I know I wanted one of them to be Calgary. My kids and I, we love the PWHL. We cheer for the Ottawa Charge right now because that's my home city area, the Ottawa Valley area. So we're cheering for the Ottawa Charge right now, but we really want a Calgary PWHL team. But first off, Hamilton now sharing their amazing sports city with the new PWHL team, and also welcome to the sports world in Canada to the Hamilton Hammers. Not a fan of that.
What name. A crappy name.
Yeah, it's a stupid name. So welcome to the sports world in the Canadian sports landscape. Change your stupid name to the new affiliate AHL team of the New York Islanders. So
that's
the dumbest thing I've
that
ever
reminds
heard.
me of the Winnipeg Pegs.
What?
Yeah, there was a Winnipeg Pegs, and I can't remember if it was a football team. Let me look this up. The Pegs.
At least we don't have the Calgary Garys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the original nickname. Okay, so it wasn't an official name. Was the original nickname for the football team now known as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So It was formed in the 1930s, so I knew there was something. That's what AI has come up with. Well,
at least they weren't the Winnipeg Peggers, because that would not age well into 2026.
No.
Don't use Urban Dictionary for that one.
The Regina Riders. No, the Regina Giners. No, that's a conversation for a different.
The Regina Ginas.
After dark. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's
CFL After Dark.
Oh yeah. That'll do it for this week's podcast. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Again, you can reach us on social media at Rouge Radio, myself at Rouge Daltz, Tony at Tony Rouge. Of course, send us your emails at thenewrouge@gmail.com. Eventually, unless we get some boring football, we will read those emails. Until next week, for Tony, I'm Daltz. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.